Yeah, who has the Hype Train Conductor badge now? I don't see any Hype Train Conductors in the chat. Here's turn 1 Thoughtseize. Port, Snow-Covered Mountain, 2 Goblin Lackeys, Matron, and Runveld Hordemaster.
Okay, we got Hordemaster. I don't know what that is. I haven't played Legacy in a while.
Uh-oh, we have a I haven't played Legacy in a while announcement.
I'll leave my mana.
We're off to a good start.
Goblin, you control dogs. Exile the top card. The Goblin creature card. Oh. To the end of your next. That's pretty sweet. Huh. Let's go digging. Top.
Modern deck, yeah. All right, this Death Shadow is taking a minute here. All right, Goblin Lackey taken. I'm checking my MySpace. And we are ready for turn 1. Finally.
Oh, thanks for playing up.
30
I will daze Lackey.
Let's try it.
I'm going to leave one color floating.
Daze is the Lackey. Exciting.
Demonstrate. Cast the spell and me copy it. Alright. Car and go. One land card. That probably can't. I'm good.
Okay, trigger is on the demonstrate trigger on the attack though. It's a cast trigger.
Yeah. So
Okay.
what's the text on demonstrate?
All right, the first ever appearance of Runveld Hordemaster on stream. There's a little peek at Tim there. The Hordemaster hits the board. New card from Dominaria United.
You're probably running heavy lands.
Thank you, Mr. Fringe, for sharing our merch links in the chat.
More than a 50.
I guess.
Man, that's a spicy meatball right
With your
there.
creative technique.
All right, it's being called a spicy meatball. And gesturing to pass the turn. Yeah, Jizlo listening carefully. Some spice coming up on today's stream.
Brainstorm on one of your
Reach copy. Hard copy or the copy?
the physical card copy.
Okay.
So you can have the copy.
Sure. Would you like the creative technique?
Yes. Or wait, can I say no and you don't do it? Is that
No.
so you're doing it no matter what?
You get it. What I'm saying is, are you ready for this to resolve? And when you do it, you'll cascade into something, and you'll get to choose whether or not to cast.
All right, we have a cycled Street Wraith. We now cracking Scalding Tarn. Harry Houdini enjoys my sense of humor. We have one person. We have one person that enjoys my sense of humor so far. Ojago says, hello, YouTube. First time on stream. Welcome. Good to have you here. All right, here's him to Turak. We've had a lot of him to Turaks already. We're just getting started. We're in round 2.
1, 4, 5, 6 reroll.
All right.
One.
Cascade.
My 2s on the right.
Okay.
These are discarded? Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
You said we will do it. So,
Port and a Skirt Prospector are discarded.
would you like to cut? Sure. Okay. I'm going to cast creative technique. I'm going to demonstrate. Will we each get a copy?
Yeah. So
Would you like to? Sure.
yeah. So I'll do this. I'm gonna get my jobs.
Sure.
All right, there's a Cavern on Goblin. I'm going to think here about what I'm going to search out with Matron, I think. Just want to make sure that that's what I want to do. Yeah, a lot of him to Turax in Seattle.
So you only have one.
I mentioned earlier there were about 24 players at this event. I don't think there was a single Delver in the room. I didn't see a DRC on any table. If they were there, I didn't see them. It's not 20% of the meta, that's for sure. All right, here's Goblin Matron.
You have 2 on the stack. The stack's empty. You've played your land, right?
Yes.
I guess. I guess let's do this, because this is free. Yeah, we're gonna fire minus 4 dice, don't cost.
Okay.
Matron doing a search here. Thinking about what to search for. Did I see any painter? I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Tough choice.
Tough choice.
I got Sling Gang.
All right, going for Sling Gang and passing the turn. Sling Gang Gang.
Rate 112.
Are there any lands decks? Maybe. There were at this event, for sure. I played against one.
Sure.
Oh yeah, the Sling Gang was accidentally put on the battlefield, but it is in my hand. Okay, that's because he wanted to read it. Got it. I keep putting it on the battlefield. All right, so now it's back in hand where it belongs.
I will Honey Wish. This will get
All right, Tim trying to figure out what to do here.
to counter both your cards. Sure. All right, I'll pass the turn. You have Cunning Wish. These were you? Yeah, these were.
So, Runvelt Hordemaster, and I wrote a brief tournament report in our Discord server. Go join the Discord if you're not in the Discord. All right, here's a Thoughtseize, and Sling Gang gets taken, unfortunately. But Runvelt Hordemaster really changed the Goblin deck quite a bit, in my opinion. And kind of the usual plays I would make, I would usually matron for this card. I would usually, prioritize casting this particular goblin. It's been completely changed by Hordemaster, and we'll see me trying to figure that out here all in real time. It was an adjustment, that's for sure. It was an adjustment. Fiscal Cliff, thanks for the resale with Prime. 9 months now for Fiscal Cliff. That's a new badge. Congratulations, Fiscal Cliff. You did it. You did it. Well done. Yeah, Sling Gang would have been a real problem for the Shadow player. I agree. Especially when all the tokens have +1/+1, and when they die, I rip a goblin off the top.
I'll cast Reanimate on your Sling Gang.
21.
Reanimate on my Sling Gang. Very interesting.
Make your goblins. Yeah, I got you. Thank you, sir. And go ahead.
See how nicely I offered my tokens? That's how it's done, everybody. Take notes. All right, so a double port available now on a Sling Gang on the opposite side of the battlefield. Let's see what I have here with my opponent at 3 life. All right, swinging with a 2/2 Goblin Matron.
Trigger, go to 24.
2 power.
And
All right, Twitch chat a little bit frustrated with Tim for not bringing Goblin tokens. Understandable. Reasonable.
Oh, chomp in, King you. I got a 19, I got a 4.
All right, chump blocking with a Goblin, sacking it to Sling Gang before damage. And gaining a life, draining a life. Pile driver. It gets a reaction.
Cascade?
Good. When you're upkeep all time.
All right, tapping an Underground Sea on upkeep.
can cast it for free? Yes. Okay, cool. So I can respond to the cast. Yes. So if I
Is it corny? Everybody knows the word corny, right? Everybody knows? Not just New York people? Is it corny that I have a 90s Magic playmat and a 90s Magic shirt? Is that corny?
I'll show you my deck.
Is that uncool? Is it lame? It is. Okay, it is.
this time? Yeah, right?
Game this thing.
Hold out and I'll land I was
So do you get a demonstrate this?
Yes.
honestly,
Okay, it's a
I
cash
thought
turn.
that was gonna end way faster. I was like, wait, I might
I'll brainstorm with that one. Cascade.
So
If I want to, because you have omniscience, but
I thought by wearing a 90s Magic t-shirt, links down below for that, and a 90s Magic playmat on my board, links down below for that, people would be like, oh, you're Chris, or oh, yeah, I've heard of your channel, or they just wouldn't give a damn. But the event ended, and several people overheard me talking to, I can't remember who, someone saying like, yeah, 90s MTG, whatever, and then they were like, oh, you're the guy from 90s MTG? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, I didn't know that was you. I'm just like, I'm over here with the logo. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Okay. I'll fetch. Sure.
It's not even that I needed to be recognized, too. I just figured people would want to know what the cameras were about and the whole thing. I just figured I'll make it obvious.
Yeah, I guess there's no way for me to.
you can't stack your deck ahead of it.
So
I'm not kidding. I'm not even kidding. I played a match against Owen. Shout out to Owen. Who called me a niche micro influencer a niche influencer micro celebrity. And I think that made my night. That was really funny.
Okay, so we'll do the place this fun. I'll get the file driver. Maybe before it resolves. I'm gonna sack for red in response. Oh, sure. Yeah.
All right, snuff out happening here. I'm sacking to Skirk Prospector in response, exiling a Wasteland. That's a whiff.
yes.
Days my own stuff out. Hey, and pick up the target. Can you do that? Yeah. So the stack is like Wasteland.
I'm walking around setting up cameras on tables. I just want everybody to understand what was going on, everybody. You know?
I will respond.
Casting snuff out on this.
Yep. So is your
die.
creative technique on the stack?
There is 3 creative.
Okay, we're having a judge call right now. Wasn't sure if Tim can daze their own snuff out after the target was sacrificed. We just weren't clear on that, so the judge is taking a look. Shout out to Judge Sam.
This no longer has a target, is the.
Yeah, it fizzles on resolution.
Plus, I like pass priority.
This is fun. I'm having fun.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so.
And I'm going to shuffle because it's not all unknown. I do know
Yeah,
I'm
so
able to win.
spells on the stack fizzle on resolution.
So in case anybody's not following, Snuff Out was targeting Goblin Piledriver. I sacked Piledriver in response, resolved the Horde Master trigger, and now Tim is trying to daze their own Snuff Out. And we weren't sure if that works. Judge says it works, so it's done.
Go to combat.
Yeah, I'm still dead. Yeah. It's a fun.
Okay, still dead.
Play this on tap. Go.
All right, so a cycled Street Wraith, and here's a Watery Grave. And turn 1 Vial. So I opted here for a turn 1 Vial despite having a Wasteland. And I'm kind of punished for it. Looking back on it, and I'm thinking about this right now as Tim's taking their second turn, I should have just gone for the Wasteland, I think. I don't like that decision in hindsight. And I didn't like it moments later either.
Tap.
Tony Gervetto is here. Micro celebrity Chris Benucci, fun times at Mox. Thanks for coming out. It was awesome hanging out with you, Tony. We just watched one of your matches. I think we have one more left later on. All right, a fetch happening here for Tim. Finds an underground sea this time. And here's a Thought Seize. So revealing my hand now, Ringleader Matron and a second Vial. The second Vial made me feel confident about my first Vial on turn 1. But I still like going for the Wasteland instead. I think in hindsight, that was better. Char Twin, thanks for the resub. 27 months for Char Twin at tier 1. Thank you, Char Twin. All right, there's the Wasteland. Vial was thrown into the trash. Polluted Delta pass. So in defense of my turn 1 Vial instead of Wasteland play, it looks like Tim has had plenty of land drops. So there's that. Matron and Ringleader, the 2 known cards in my hand.
I'll play this. Go to 11. Yep.
I'll take it.
Okay, playing in the Water Your Grave on tap once again.
I'm going to play into that flush.
All right, fetching down to 10 is Tim. Underground Sea comes in.
I'll play Ledger Shredder. Okay, here you go.
And here's Ledger Shredder. Cavern of Souls. So an uncounterable Matron entering the battlefield here. Search trigger. I don't remember what the other 2 cards in hand are, but Ringleader is in hand. Looks like I pulled Horde Master to the front. I also, a couple of times during this event, I don't know about in this exact situation, but I thought to myself, you know what? I probably could get this other thing, but I'm going to grab Horde Master because I want to see how that plays out. And it backfired a bit, I would say, but I just wanted to try the card out. I Clean Pools, thanks for the sub with Prime. Thank you, thank you. First time sub.
Yeah, I'm gonna start another official lane. Yeah. Okay.
Well, you get to see my hand.
All right, it'll be the Horde Master, searched up by Goblin Matron. Tim, going back and forth, it seems, right, between tapping my deck and cutting my deck. I wonder if there's something I'm doing that's making making Tim decide one or the other. All right, snuff out on Goblin Matron. I'm fine with that. Stun its job already. But we're likely going to see some big Death Shadows, I guess, right? Murktide. Murktide it is.
For 5. So 4 instants and sorceries. Resolve Connive.
Respond to your 2 copies.
And resolving Connive for Ledger Shredder.
Just thinking for a second.
This is more.
This is if I discard a non-land, it gets bigger, right?
I think so.
I don't know.
I'll discard Rainstorm. Okay. So,
Never ask me the rules, anybody.
this is 4 counters.
7/7 Murktide. Yeah, this Ledger Shredder doesn't have the reminder text. It just says connive. Wasteland on the Cavern of Souls.
Copy, or card?
I'm going to force the actual.
There's Rishadan Port.
Do you have other surgical extractions?
So yeah, other than the copy version.
Facing down a 7/7 and a 3/5 flyers. And there's Horde Master and pass.
Master Wanderer?
Yeah.
Extra cascade triggers?
Yeah.
Or another goblin, you can rise it to the top. If it's a goblin, you may cast that card.
So,
18?
at this point I'm getting 13 power. It's too late to hard cast a Twaddle. Do I want to try to just go off with individuals without giving extra damage?
I'll play a shadow.
Because I'll
7/7 shadow. Attacking for 10.
No blocks.
you have 3 cards.
9 actually. Oh yeah, the Ledger Shredder's a 2/4 or whatever. All right, going to game 3. Murktide still quite good against goblins. Ledger Shredder are also somewhat difficult to kill without cards like Power Blast or a very large hit from Munitions Expert. On the play here for game 3. And this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, my entire premise here is to try to just
Bloodstained Mire pass.
natural protection against force of will. But the premise of this is that your creative techniques have very low.
Fetching on my upkeep. And there is a basic mountain. People kept asking me, what mountain is that? Chris, what mountain is that? Come on, people. Do your research. Know your basic lands. Memorize them all.
I enjoyed the gameplay, at least on mine.
Yeah, it was cool. I wish I threw a hair better on.
Here's Chalice on 1.
But yeah, you know, that's fine. Because I had like 5 looks to like something.
Yeah, no, you
I'm currently using Dragon Shield Matte. Wasteland on my port and passing the turn.
But, you know, that's why you don't like to fail something. You know.
Wooded Foothills pass. That is not a Warhammer mountain. It's even better. All right, there's another mountain.
I'm mono white something, and you go, oh yeah, there, there.
Thanks for
Thank you very much.
Goblin Matron comes down. Runvelt Horde Master pass.
I'll waste Cavern.
Cavern down. So what's my game plan here? The game plan is try to win as quickly as possible while this Chalice still holds Tim out of the game. These Death Shadow decks have a lot of 1-drops. And at this point, I think Tim is likely looking for a petty theft or some other way to remove it. And getting my Horde Master countered was not ideal. Just being able to attack for 1 every turn with the Matron is a bit slow. And we're going to see some mistakes get made here. So Thoughtseize resolving. How does this happen with the Chalice on 1? So I'm just going to let this play out, and then I'll explain. Thoughtseize resolves again. Takes Sling Gang. The rest of my hand, all 1-drops. And at this point, you see me slowly putting the Sling Gang into the yard. I'm realizing my mistake. So what was running through my head at this point? My opponent casts Thoughtseize, and I'm thinking about life lost. I'm thinking, okay, lose 2 life, speed this up. I can afford to lose a Sling Gang. I have a redundant one in my hand. The second Thoughtseize, I'm starting to feel frustrated. But I'm like, all right, at least you're losing 2 life. If I can get some goblins off the top, I can still win here under the chalice. And then by the time the Death Shadow resolves, I realize, wow, I just missed 2 chalice triggers, but at least I'm not missing this one, and the Death Shadow gets countered. So I feel like watching this back, people are going to feel like I purposely let the Thoughtseizes resolve or something because I wanted Tim to lose life. That wasn't it at all. But I was thinking about the life loss, and that's what my brain was focused on. So I missed those chalice triggers embarrassingly. But so far, it's working out here. Runvelt Horde Master getting countered a second time, and now we're having a discrepancy over life totals.
So that came down on turn.
I was also like very mildly tilted that I kept drawing 1-drops after my chalice on 1, but that's an aside.
Did you shock yourself? You shocked yourself.
Yeah, that's it. So it's exactly 7.
So I'll attack you and put you at 6. I didn't attack yet.
Right. Sorry, 12. Force. Hold on. So I go to 12 from these. I take a hit. I go to 11. I force. I go to 10. Then I go to 9.
Shock. Now you're getting hit. You go to 6.
Yeah, I agree. And you're at 18 still.
Yep. I'll pass her.
We figured it out, everybody. We figured it out.
Good.
Yes, sweet. Oh, he has haste.
Forgot Squee has haste. Oh man, it's so bad.
Well, I mean,
I'm still thinking about the life lost, and we're laughing about it because we were talking about it a moment ago. All right, Fatal Push and a Death Shadow. All right. What a weird game 3.